All right, let's talk about a principle that sounds a little blunt, but it might just be one of the most powerful tools you can have as a developer: Yagni. It stands for you aren't gonna need it, and trust me, this simple idea can save you an incredible amount of time, money, and yeah, a whole lot of headaches. I mean, seriously, think about it for a second. Haven't we all been there? You spend hours, maybe days, building this clever feature or this super flexible configuration option, only for it to sit there, completely unused, gathering digital dust. It's a super common habit, and it's exactly what we're going to unpack today. We fall into this trap because it feels productive, right? It feels like we're being smart, planning for the future. But the reality is, this just-in-case thinking often leads us down a rabbit hole of needless complexity and, frankly, a ton of wasted effort. And these are the kinds of questions that get us into so much trouble. We start building for these wild what-if scenarios that might never, ever happen. And let's be clear, this isn't free. Every single line of code you write for a hypothetical future adds complexity, it adds potential bugs, and it adds to the maintenance burden for the entire life of the project. So, how do we get out of this trap? Well, the answer is this beautifully simple principle that completely flips that thinking on its head. At its heart, Yagni is all about discipline. It comes from the world of extreme programming, or XP, and it's super simple. Don't add any functionality until you have a real, immediate need for it. It forces us to focus on what delivers actual value right now, not what we guess might be useful someday. I know, it sounds a little weird, doesn't it? The idea that writing less code today actually leads to a better product tomorrow. But it's absolutely true, because there are very real, very hidden costs to all that code you think you might need. Think about it. When you only focus on what users are actually asking for, you save a ton of development time. And less code just naturally means your system is less complex. Less complexity means fewer bugs and way easier maintenance. Every feature you don't build is a feature you don't have to test, document, or fix later. It's the very spirit of Agile: deliver value now and adapt as you go. Okay, let's make this super concrete. Let's say your app has like 10 users and you need a logging system. The Yagni approach? Build a basic logger that writes to a file. Simple, effective, gets the job done now. The over-engineered approach? You build a massive, plug-in-based, distributed logging system with AI analytics for 10 people. I mean, come on. One of these is a smart use of your time, and the other is, well, it's not. Okay, so the theory makes sense. It's cool. But what does this actually look like day to day? Let's get practical and see how Yagni actually plays out in the real world. So when you're designing your database, don't build out a schema for features you might want in 5 years. Just build what you need for V1. In architecture, this is a big one. Everyone wants to jump straight to microservices. But you know what? A simple monolith is often the perfect place to start. Evolve when you need to. Don't write a giant library of utility functions just in case. Just write one when you actually need it. And for the UI, add things when users ask for them, not when you guess they might want them. And the payoff for being this disciplined is huge. Your team will just ship working software faster, period. With less code, there's less risk, fewer bugs. Your code base is simpler, so you're way more flexible and can pivot easily. All of this adds up to real cost savings and, this is super important, happier, more focused teams who are building things that matter, not just speculative code that gets deleted in 6 months. Okay, but let's be real for a second. Yagni is a powerful guideline, but it's not a dogmatic rule you follow blindly. If you take it too far, it can cause its own set of problems. The real secret here is finding that balance. Let's be super clear. Yagni is not an excuse to write sloppy code or ignore obvious architectural needs. If you know for a fact your app needs to scale, you should plan for that. And some things, like security, authentication, backups, you absolutely have to think about from the start. Leaving that stuff out isn't being lean, it's being reckless. The goal is to avoid unused stuff, not to avoid good design. It really all comes down to this: balance. It's about using your professional judgment as an engineer. Yagni is about being pragmatic and smart, not lazy. It's about making informed decisions about what to build now and what can wait. So how do you actually get this right? Here's a quick game plan. 1. Validate that a feature is actually needed before you write a single line of code. 2. Work in small, quick iterations, delivering value step by step. 3. Stay laser-focused on your MVP, the absolute bare essentials. 4. Refactor. Clean up your code as new requirements come in. And 5. the most important one, constantly ask that question, do we really need this right now? So, at the end of the day, just think of Yagni as your shield. It's your best defense against premature optimization, speculative features, and all that wasted complexity that bogs projects down. It's what keeps you and your team lean, focused, and ready for whatever comes next. So, I'll leave you with this. The next time you're coding and you get that urge to add that extra clever abstraction or that just-in-case feature, just pause. Pause for 1 second and ask yourself that simple question, do we actually need this right now? The answer might just save you a whole lot of trouble.